Good Friday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is me and you're you, and everybody's happy. And now we're going to have a cerveza and enjoy a Friday evening beer 30 sanity session together. We have a lot to talk about. I hope you do because I don't have anything. Yo, anyway, I'll listen to you guys today. Anyway, here's to you, here's to me. Skull, pros, cheers, all that stuff. Chug a lug. Mm-hmm. Muy bueno, muy bueno. But anyway, it's been a beautiful day here in Capitan, New Mexico. It's been cold in the mornings, as I've mentioned at Comment Call, past couple of days. But it ain't bad. But I do have a recommendation in this Beer 30 Sanity session, and that's this. If you guys have something that you would like for me to talk about during this session, shoot me an email at rusty78609 at gmail.com. That's rusty78609 at gmail.com. It doesn't mean I'm going to use your suggestion, but at least it might give me an idea to do something else because it's hard to come up with material every Friday, even though that's only once a week. But, it is, after all, a very important event. It is Beer 30, sanity session, and we're supposed to chill out, relax, and kind of go, oh, yeah, man, chill, chill. Here's to you again. This is my first swaller. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, with that in mind, I did search through my comments, some of them, not all of them, and I found a comment that left by, what was his name? Oh, Mr. H. And he wanted to know the backstory of the property here in Capitan, New Mexico. In other words, how did this all come about? And that's a pretty good question. Is that a good topic for Beer 30 Sanity session? Well, it's better than us just sitting here staring at each other, I guess. Anyway, the backstory on it is, of course, I started RVing, 25 plus years ago, a long time ago, man. And but in the around 2008, 2009, 10, 11, all, I started traveling out west. Of course, I covered most of the Texas western part and then up into New Mexico, Arizona, up into Nevada, went into Wyoming, Idaho, Montana. I went all over. And, but anyway, gradually I kind of drew my circle in. And by the time it got to be in the early teens, like 2013, 14, 15, I was pretty much isolated in the New Mexico area. Why? Because it was convenient. I liked the area. There were some areas I particularly liked. This area right here, Capitan, New Mexico. Carrizozo's okay. And Ruidoso because of the mountains and the desert. And, you had a lot of things going on here. You had Cloudcroft, which is about from where I'm sitting right now, about an hour away. And it's a beautiful, beautiful drive. So with that in mind, I started coming to, well, the first time I came into Capitan, I think was like 2000. Let me see, I made a note. 2014, I believe. I couldn't, I may not have these dates exactly right, but I think it was 2014. Well, I came to Capitan and I went out and I stayed at another RV park further on the way towards Carrizozo, but the water had a real odor to it. So, I mean, that's been several years ago, I think. But I even stayed there before that, but it still had that sulfur smell. And so, anyway, I came into Capitan, and I didn't expect the prices to be as low as they were. Anyway, I talked to the owners then, they've sold it since. And yeah, they said, yeah, it's $225 a month. You got to pay your electricity. They didn't have a laundromat then, but there was one in town about 100 yards away, which is fine with me. So anyway, I stayed there for a month, and they had the tree of truth there with a table around it, and I would sit out there and have a beer, and people would come in different places of the United States, and we'd sit and chat. So it was really good, and I got to walk. I could walk down to the grocery store, post office, library, and all that stuff. And I thought, this is really a cool town. And I've often said that back then, I said, if I could find a place where I could walk to everything, that would be really nice. So with that in mind, whenever I would go in my morning walks, I would take a pencil and paper, and if there was a vacant lot somewhere that I thought was okay, then I would make a note of it, as close as I could to get to the address, and then go over to Carrizo to the Lincoln County tax or the appraisal district and see if I couldn't find out who owned that lot and contact them. So I did contact a few people that own different lots in the area. Never got any response at all from them. And then on the lot that I have now, I think, let me see, I made a note. It was like 2015. Yeah, I was here, and it was late in the summer, I think. And but I sent a letter to the owners of this property right here. I never got any response. And I got the address from the appraisal district. They won't give you a phone number, but they'll give you an address. So then the following year, like 2016, sent another letter or two during the year, and still didn't get any response. Every time I sent the letter, I had my phone number in there and my mailing address, so that if they chose to respond at some later date, they could. And sure enough, in 2017, and again, these may not be the exact dates, but close, but in 2017, I got a response from the people that owned this lot. And yeah, they had two mobile homes here that they had moved off. They had they had city water, but they didn't have it. It was all the line was dug up and stuff, and the septic was still connected to the city, which was good, saved me some money there. And I already knew what the appraised value of the property was from the appraisal district, and so the lady, I said, well, the lady, the owner, the mother couldn't speak English very well. The daughter could speak English very well. And so communicating through the daughter to the mother, I said, well, how much does she want for it? And the girl said she wants $9,000 for the lot. And anyway, I thought, well, that's a deal, but I lowballed like I usually do. And so we agreed, we ended up agreeing on a price of 6,000. I'll give you these numbers now because I'm not planning on selling this property. And if I did, it'd be $100,000. But enough said about that, because this will be a home base for my son and grandson also. So that's how that's set up. So, but anyway, um, they were going to meet. They wanted me to get a certified check. I did. I got a certified check payable to the mother in the amount that we agreed on. And they said they'd drive up. They live in El Paso. They'd drive up to Carrizozo, meet me at the county clerk's office, and we'd do the deal. And I said, well, I'm just going to go in and get a blank form from the people, and then I'll type it up and have it ready for you when you get there. And I did. I did a warranty deed while I was waiting. I checked on back taxes and see if there was any liens and all kind of stuff. And it was clear they'd had it for 20 years or more. So, you run across a deal like that, you're okay. And so anyway, we ended up, I didn't feel good about the $6,000, to be quite frank with you. And so, because I knew that was a low ball. So anyway, I went ahead and got the certified check payable to them in the original amount of $9,000, which I thought was very fair for what I was getting. And so we met at the county clerk's office, and signed the deed and all that stuff. And I had the check in an envelope made out to the mother, a cashier's check. And anyway, I handed it to the daughter, and then we walked out. I thanked them and all the stuff for driving up and all that. And then the daughter, just to show you what kind of good people they were, she opened the envelope and looked at the check and saw that the amount was 9,000 instead of 6,000. She pointed. She said, "Oh, hold on, man. You overpaid us." You know what I mean? How many people would have done that? None. All right. But anyway, I said, no, that's right, because that's what your mother said originally. And so we'll just leave it go at that. We're done. And so that was it. Yeah, like 2017. And then, the later years, I, cleaned it. First of all, before I could move on it, I had to get some junk moved off, had to have people haul stuff off. So over the years, I've probably spent, I don't know, $15,000 on a variety of different things. And so Yeah, got the road in, the trees moved and cleared out and stuff, and cleaned up so I could move my RV on, and I did, and had a person, a guy here locally lay a. I could have just put a spigot over by the water meter, right just right inside the fence. I could have done that myself, but I didn't. I wanted to run a line all the way over here, so that it would be out of the way. And one, I wouldn't have to have the hose across where I wanted to drive because I was going to plan on putting in a gravel road and all that stuff. So I did. I got that in, and then I've got the septic hooked up to the city again. We made sure all that was all right, and of course, you had to have the electrical done. Had to have a certified electrician do that. Boy, my mouth is drier than dirt, drier than dirt, drier than desert dirt. How about that? Here's to you. Mm. So anyway, that's pretty much the backstory. Almost, we're not through yet. A little bit more I'll add in for flavor. And I had it. Let's see. I had it up until uh, 2020, and I made all the improvements. And in 2020, I think it was March or whenever it was, 2020, I sold it to a lady out of Lubbock, Texas, and she had it, but she never used it, as far as I know. And yeah, but she told me when she bought it, if I wanted to use it, just come on in. I knew where the key to the electric box was, everything. So yeah, that was fine. And just get the city to hook up the water or turn it on is all they had to do. There's a meter right out there, or water meter. Anyway, so I did that, and then I did that video on because I mean, whenever the lady from Lubbock bought it, she paid a premium. You understand? Because I didn't let it go cheap. And so 2 years later, I I did a video. You may be familiar with it. It was that tiny Home Depot that got over I don't know how many million views, whatever. I don't know, a lot. I made a lot of money off of it. Let me say that, a lot. And so I didn't really care about all that money stacking up in the bank. So it occurred I was going to buy that place in Carrizozo. I know y'all went through that misery with me 3 times or whatever it was. I tried to buy it, and it's still for sale today. Believe it or not, great place, great views, but this is a better spot for me. So anyway, I contacted the lady out of Lubbock, and here in March last year, March 2021, and no, March 2022, and asked her if she'd be willing to sell it back to me for a little profit, and she said she would, and so I did. We did it all, through the mail. Everything was done real simple, and but yeah, now I'm in it up to here. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, I kind of, yeah, that was what you call payback. Don't get too greedy. But no, anyway, but yeah, that one little video paid for the whole thing, and I don't care about that. Of course, I had to pay some income tax, but big deal. And what else can I tell you? Yeah, so here I am, April 2023, and home again, and yeah, everything's fine. And also Matilda's back. We'll do a video of that, and I'll show you Matilda's here. But anyway, guys, it is a Beer 30 Friday Sanity session, and yeah. So yeah, I do some crazy things. I know I do, and but I did stick to my plan that I came upon in 19. Well, no, it's 2000 and probably 2010. It occurred to me that I was getting a little older, and at some time I needed to find me a little home base. And that's where the place in Kingsland, I already had it, came about because I thought, well, this will do. I'll just have this place and then travel wherever I want to. And then over a period of years, I thought, well, hell, I'll get a place out here, and I did. And I also sold the place in Kingsland, and and that's where this motorhome came from. Yeah, the Kingsland property. This is it. So, but yeah, it all worked out. And now of course I'm 77. And time passes, and but I've got me a home base here. I've got me a tiny home here, this Class C motorhome, and then in Texas I do have a place at Fort Clark Springs that has a big cover on concrete and stuff. It has a 1 bedroom home with central air and heat and all the stuff, and place a washing machine, kitchen, all that stuff, and about 400 square feet. But I haven't used it yet. I go in there. I use it as a reading room now. I use it as a laundry room, and eventually I'll end up living in that house, and that'll probably be the finish line, so to speak. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't. You never know where you're going to check out. But anyway, guys, I'm telling you, it is Friday evening. It is a sanity session. I hope your sanity has been improved by Mister H's question. But yeah, if you think of something, if there's a question you want to ask, I mean, I do a live, but doing it, one person doing it, it's difficult. Even two people is difficult. It's it is what it is. I'm not real fond of doing live. Okay, here's to you. Here's to me. Skull. Mm. So what can I tell you guys? It's Friday evening. Enjoy yourself the best you can. And I know I've told you all these. Every time I think I'll finish with a joke, the only ones I can think of are ones that are X-rated, and I can't tell you. That's all I ever heard was dirty jokes. You know, and the ones that are not dirty jokes aren't funny. Or to me, and or most of them they're just kind of corny. Let's see. I mean, that one's too long. Let me see if I can think of a short one here. Not really. Nothing comes to mind right quick. But anyway, again, if you think of something that you might want me to talk about on a Friday beer 30, shoot me an email, rusty78609 at gmail.com. And I've been, for some reason lately, I've been getting some weird emails. But if you're just a troll, or you just want to jerk me around, save your time, because I'll just delete the email and go on down the road. But if you have some true input and a valid question, I may follow up on it and do it on a Friday. Yeah, and go on and on we go. Yeah, because you guys have questions about things, and I don't even think about it. So having said that, guys, Friday evening, beer 30, Sanity session from Capitan, New Mexico. Beautiful right now. It's about 60 degrees outside, perfectly clear, no wind. And so with that in mind, thumbs up, guys. Carpe diem, adios, bye bye. Buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, drink a beer. Here's to you, here's to me. Mm. Oh, it's good. Yeah, if you think about it, use the Amazon link. If you don't want to fool with it, don't. Not a big deal. I appreciate it. But anyway, drink plenty of water, whatever. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Take deep breaths to relieve stress. And yeah, as far as your sanity is concerned, you're in charge of you. If you're stressed out, you allowed somebody to get in your head. You did it. Think about it. I'm telling you. Nobody, just be bulletproof when it comes to stress. You know what I mean? But having said that, carry on, guys. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, if you go Easter egg hunting on Sunday or whenever it is, I hope you find one or two or three. Adios. Bye bye.